students, Dr. Mercado speaking. I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to Accounting 1329, Payroll and Business Tax Accounting. In this particular lecture, we are going to continue covering concepts from Chapter 3, which deal with Social Security taxes. Okay. Before we move on to working out some of the problems for the week, I do want to remind all of you to please read. Reading is very, very important. Make sure that you read the chapter, that you analyze the different examples provided within the text, as well as review any of the Show Me How videos embedded within your homework. Now, we're going to start small. We're going to start with an easy exercise. Okay, I want to cover this because students sometimes get confused with tips. Okay, so we are going over exercise 3.3. It says Ernie Gilmore began working as a part-time waiter on June the 1st at Sport House Restaurant. The cash tips of $390 that he received during June were reported on Form 4070, which was submitted to his employer on July the 3rd. So the form was submitted in the month of July. During July, he was paid wages of $525 by the restaurant. We are being asked to compute OASDI and HI for both the employer and the employee. Okay, so we have to figure out how much is going to be withheld from the employee, and then how much is the employer liable for. Okay, so let's look at requirement A. It says the amount of FICA taxes that the employer should withhold from Gilmore's wages during July. So this is the amount that we are going to keep, that we are going to retain from the employee's paycheck. Okay. Now, here the key is we need to figure out how much of the wages earned by this employee are taxable, so we can be able to calculate the OASDI and the HI. Now, the employee began working in June. During June, he made $390 in tips, which were reported to the employer in July. Okay, so the employer got the information in the month of July. Okay, so the employer has not made any deductions for those tips because they had not been reported till the month of July. So in July, the employer needs to deduct the OASDI and the HI tax for those tips earned. In addition, during the month of July, the employee earned some wages. They earned $525 of wages. Therefore, the employer also needs to withhold any OASDI and HI for those wages. So, the amount of FICA taxes that the employer should withhold for Gilmore's wages during July are, well, first of all, we know that we have tips of $300. Those are my tips. And I'm going to add my $525 of wages. So how much does that give me? That gives me $390 plus $525. That gives me $915. Okay. That is my earnings for the month of July. Okay. Now that I know that I have made $915, I can calculate my OASDI and my HI. Okay. For the OASDI, we are going to get the $915 that we made. Okay, that the employee Ernie made, and we're going to multiply it by the rate. Remember, the OASDI rate is 6.2%. And that's going to give me $56.73. Okay. So all we did was get the total tips and wages earned. That is your taxable earnings for the month of July, times the OASDI rate, and the OASDI rate is 6.2%. Okay. The HI rate is 1.45%. Okay. Now for my HI, how much is the employer going to withhold from Gilmore's pay in the month of July? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the $915, the tips plus the wages, and we're going to multiply by 1.45%, and that's going to give me 13.2675. Now remember, we need to look at that third digit. If that third digit is a 5 or greater, then we need to round 1 up on that second digit. So in this case, the answer is 13.267. We're going to round up to 13.27. Remember, always look at the third digit. If it's greater than a 5, then we need to round that second digit up by 1, okay? So then that will be 13.27. Okay. Now this is the amount that we are going to withhold from Gilmore's paycheck, okay? For OASDI and for HI purposes. Now, letter B says, what is the amount of the employer's FICA taxes on Gilmore's wages and tips during July? So remember, the employee pays or is withheld 6.2% for OASDI and 1.45% for HI. The employer matches that, okay? So the only difference is that we get the calculation based on the total taxable earnings. So in this particular case, it doesn't really matter because we only have one employee. If we had multiple employees, then there might be a slight difference between the HI calculation for the employer and the employees. But in this case, it's just one. So we're going to once again, same calculations. The employee, Gilmore, made $915. We're going to multiply that by 6.2%. And that gives me $56.73. Okay. We are going to get the employee's $915 of earnings times 1.45%. And that gives me 13.27. Okay. So the employer is going to withhold from the employee's paycheck $56.73, and they're going to withhold $13.27 for HI. The employer needs to put into those liability accounts, because we have to pay these OASDI and HI taxes. We are going to put in the same amount. We're going to match it. We're going to put in $56.73 and $13.27. This is a cost to me, the company, for having Gilmore as an employee. I have to pay payroll taxes, OASDI and HI being two of them, okay? So this is the calculations. The key here is just making sure that we add the tips to our wages to get our taxable earnings. Once you get your taxable earnings, you just multiply by the respective rates, 6.2 for OASDI and 1.45 for HI. Okay, so I hope this clarifies any questions, concerns you might have on problem 3.3. And make sure that you do listen to the next lectures that I'm going to be uploading that cover some additional problems over chapter 3. Okay, thank you very much, and until next time, have a wonderful day.